Great. So welcome to everyone who's here. My name is Monica. This is Beginners Yoga. So I thought we'd start today just by checking in, seeing how everyone's doing. I just wanted to, for me, this coronavirus time is producing a lot of anxiety. So I've been worrying a lot about the future, when the quarantine will be over, just wondering how this is going to play out. So my central question that I've set for myself is, how can I rest back into myself? So how can I stay grounded? How can I continue to follow my breath? And how can I stay content, not knowing what's going to happen? So maybe that's something that you've been working with too. That's what we'll work with today during our next hour together, is how can we rest back into ourselves and stay connected and committed to sensations and to the breath. Okay. So that being said, please take a comfortable seat if you're not already in one. You can sit up on a blanket. Just gonna adjust this a smidge. Okay, great. So you can sit up on a blanket if that's more comfortable for you. And you can be in any seat that feels appropriate for you. So you can rest your hands on your lap or maybe somewhere on your body that will remind you to breathe. And you can close your eyes or soften your gaze. We'll take a moment here at the beginning of class to just see how we're feeling this morning. Maybe the breath is slow and deep. Maybe you just woke up from sleep. Or maybe you're feeling a little constricted or ragged. Just welcoming in whatever is true for you right now. I'll invite you to take a few rounds of a pranayama, a breathing exercise with me. We're going to take a few rounds of samavriti, which means equal fluctuation. So it will be an inhale through the nose for a count of 4 and an exhale through the nose for a count of 4. So if you'd like to take that with me, please exhale completely and inhale. 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Continue with your own breath, maybe keeping the count, lengthening to 5, or maybe dropping the count and just feeling for even inhales and exhales. By breathing with an equal inhale and exhale, we even out the nervous system and just allow ourselves to rest back into ourselves by connecting breath with intention. Please take a few more rounds. And as you've completed that, you can blink open your eyes. And from here, we'll drop our hands to our thighs. Please drop your ear to your right shoulder. As you inhale, please roll your neck around from ear to ear. And as you exhale, you can drop the head back from ear to ear, or shoulder to shoulder, I'm sorry. Every inhale will take the neck around. And as you exhale, you'll drop the head back. Notice what your shoulders are doing here. If they're hiking up, maybe send the shoulder blades down the back, making more space for your breath, more space for your neck. If you find any areas that are crunchy or tight or just feel interesting to you, feel free to pause and breathe into that place, knowing that there's no way to do this wrong. We're just opening up and being intentional with our breathing. The next time your ear comes to the left shoulder, please reverse the direction of your rolls, moving in the opposite direction, continuing to find that syncing up of movement with breath, moving intentionally, opening up the body. Continue breathing down into the belly. Continue sending those shoulder blades down the back. The next time your head comes to center, you can just drop the chin towards your chest and then take your palm to your forehead and help your head back up. From here, please switch the cross of your legs. So have opposite leg on top if you're in a cross leg position. If not, no worries. And on your next inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky. Bend that right elbow and reach around so that your left arm comes up. Left hand will grab onto that right elbow. On your next inhale, pull that elbow gently towards the midline as if it could line up with the back of your head. And as you exhale, send that elbow back behind you, sending back of the head back, resting back into yourself. Every inhale, bring that elbow just a smidge closer to the midline. And as you exhale, lean back. We'll do this a few more times. If you notice that your ribs and your belly are popping forward, pull them back to integrate the torso. Let's take one more breath here. And as you're ready, you can release and we'll try the second side. So please lift your left arm up to the sky, bend that left elbow, hand can face the back or the midline. And then as you inhale, lift that right arm up, right palm will land on that elbow. As you inhale, pull that left elbow towards the center, and exhale, lean back a little, finding a little back bend in the upper back. Every inhale, continue pulling that elbow in, and as you exhale, lean back, finding the sense of resting back into yourself. We'll take just a few more breaths here. Really feel how your shoulders feel. Find more space for back of the head to move towards the back of the mat. Resting back into yourself. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, you can release. Please take your right hand straight out from your right hip. And then rest the fingertips down on the ground and you can tent them up, like make a little fingertip paw. As you inhale, lift that left arm up to the sky, reach up, get tall along that left side of the body. And as you exhale, you can bend over to your right, resting into the side bend. You can flatten that right palm to the ground if it feels nice. And ground that left sit bone down into the floor. It will want to get light. Keep yourself rooted here. We'll take just a few more breaths here. Notice how the left side of your body feels. Find the stretch from hip to armpit. And on your next inhale, we'll windmill up and we'll try the opposite side. So that left fingertips will come straight out from that left hip, tent up on fingertips, and then inhale that right arm up to the sky. As you inhale, reach up so that right side of the body gets so long. And as you exhale, send yourself over to the left, flattening that left palm down to the ground. Keep that right sit bone heavy down into the mat. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching over to the side of your mat as you stay grounded here. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Find more space along that right side of the body, dropping that left ear or left shoulder down towards the mat. Take 1 more breath in, and as you inhale, come back up. Reach up with both hands, and exhale, come on down. We'll try that stretch 1 more time, this time leaning more back. So please take your left hand at a diagonal out from your, right hand out from your right hip at a diagonal behind you so that you're leaning back a little. Tent up on fingertips again, and then inhale that left hand up to the sky, and then reach back and over on a diagonal. Maybe finding a new stretch along the left side of the body. Keep leaning back even as you root your sit bones down. We'll take 2 more slow, deep breaths here. And as you're ready, we'll come back up. We'll try the second side. So take your left fingertips out at a diagonal from that left hip. Reach right arm up to the sky and then lean back on a diagonal. Finding maybe a new stretch along the right side of the body from hip to armpit. Maybe even feel this in your bicep. Keep rooting both sit bones down as you lean back, reaching behind you. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And as you're ready, we'll come back up. All right, so from here, please uncross your legs and come to kneel in the middle of your mat. So your thighs will be together, your feet will be together, and then sit back onto your heels for a super intense foot stretch. Look down at your pinky toes. They're probably hiding under your 4th toe. So please just wiggle them out there. You can bring your hands to your thighs. If this is immediately excruciating for you, you can begin to lean forward a little to take some weight out of the soles and the ball of your foot. Or if you feel safe here, you can really lean back into yourself, sending tailbone down. As you lean back of the head back, we'll just be here for a few more breaths. Find your own balancing point here. Maybe it's a morning where you'd like to come a little more forward, or maybe you can go for it, seeing how far back you can extend the head, then shoulder blades down the back. Please take 1 more breath wherever you are. And as you exhale, you can come forward, plant the palms, and you can thunder horse out the feet. If you want to tap them to get the circulation back, great. Then from here, please bring your knees and your thighs back together, ankles together, untuck the toes, and we'll sit back onto our heels for this counter stretch. This is more of an ankle stretch. If you feel good here, you can interlace the hands behind the head. And then send those elbows back as you lean back, sitting back into yourself here. Pull ribs and low belly back. Every inhale, maybe you widen those elbows just a little more behind you. And as you exhale, lean back of the head back. Really feeling broadness through the chest. Pull low ribs and belly back if they're popping way forward. We'll be here for 1 more breath. As you're ready, come on forward. We'll plant the palms and come into table pose. So toes can be tucked or untucked. We won't be here terribly long, but it never hurts to be kind to your knees. So if you would like a blanket or a towel beneath your knees, go ahead and grab that. You want your wrist under your shoulder and your knee under your hip. You want your knees about hip width distance and your hands are shoulder width. Spread your fingers wide and then spread them even wider. Make a firm foundation for yourself. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, coming into cow pose. And as you exhale, push the ground away, round through the upper back, look towards your navel for cat. Continue with your own breath, linking up breath with movement here. Really finding the support to hollow out in the cat and to round in the cow. Maybe it feels good to roll your neck or shift your hips front to back or side to side. You decide how you would like to move this morning. We'll be here for a few more moments. Do what you need to do to open up the spine and warm up. Whatever you've decided to do, keep using your breath as a touch point to link up your movement with your own slow, deep breath. Okay, the next time you inhale, come to a neutral spine, and please step your right foot back and tuck your left toes if they're not already tucked. So both toes are tucked, right foot is extended back. From here, we're just going to shift our weight back towards that right foot, opening up the calf on the right side. So every exhale, you can just shift a little weight back. Inhale will bring you back to wrist under shoulders. As you exhale, you can lunge back into the ball of that right foot, just feeling my calves are incredibly tight from being inside more. Maybe that's true for you, maybe it's not, but just feeling the back of that right leg. We'll take maybe 2 more. And as you finish your second side, or your second rep, please extend that right leg long behind you. Drop the right hip so that your pelvis is level. On your inhale, bend that right knee, bring knee towards nose. And then exhale, send that leg back. As you inhale, bend the right knee, bring knee towards nose, scrunch it up high, and exhale back. We'll do 3 more with your own breath. Try to keep the pelvis level as you extend and bend the leg. Feel for really scrunching up that knee towards your nose, maybe even pausing and smushing it a little bit higher. And when you finish your 3, please come back to hands and knees and we'll switch sides. So extend that left leg long behind you. And as you exhale, you can lunge back into that left ball of the foot. Inhale will bring your wrists back under your shoulders. As you exhale, just really feeling the back of that left leg. And as you inhale, coming back forward. Notice what it's like on this side. This side could be totally different. Maybe it's similar, maybe it's not. Just feeling for how you can open up the back of the leg. Please do 2 more with your own breath. Okay. As you've completed that, please lift that left leg to the sky. You can look down. Your toes should be pointed straight down at the ground. That's how you'll know that your pelvis is level instead of having the foot opening to the side. As you inhale, bend that left knee, stick it towards your nose, and exhale, go back. As you inhale, tuck knee towards nose, maybe snuggle a little bit higher, and exhale, come on back. Do 3 more with your own breath, making them as slow as you can. The slower you do abdominal work, the less you have to do. That's an abdominal secret that you may have already known. All right, so as you're tucking that knee towards your nose, maybe take it a little bit higher. Exhale it back. I've got 1 more. And then come back to all fours. From here, we're moving into downward facing dog. So please tuck your toes. Take your hands 1 hand print forward. Take your knees 1 knee print back. A knee print is the width of your knee. And then tuck the toes under, lift the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Great. So do what you need to do here. Maybe you find stillness, pressing the hands down and forward away from you. Or maybe you want to bend 1 knee and then the other. Continuing more of that calf stretching action. You decide what will give you the most benefit here. As you're ready, on your next inhale, you'll begin to walk your hands towards the back of your mat, coming to a forward fold at the back of your mat. You can move your blanket or your towel to the side, and we'll just take a forward fold here. So you can have the hands planted on the ground, knees can be bent. Make sure that your knees are tracking over your 2nd or 3rd toe. You don't want the knees knocking in. Knees might be bent the whole time, that's totally fine. We'll be here for 1 more breath. And then on your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins, halfway lift, flatten the spine, peek out at the horizon, and exhale, fold down. On your next inhale, sweep the hands around, come all the way up, and exhale, fold forward. Your inhale will take you into a halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold down. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Maybe you find a little back bend, maybe not. And exhale, fold down. Continue with these halfway suns with your own breath. You can follow me if you need a reminder of the motion. What's important is that you link up your breath with movement. You can't really do it wrong. Really feel for how grounded and solid your foundation can be. Your feet pressing into the ground. Find the strength of that rooting down to allow you to extend. We'll take 2 more rounds. Great, guys. I can't see you, but I know you're doing awesome out there, I hope. Okay. The next time you fold down, stay in the fold. From here, we're moving into a low lunge. So we're going to be in a fold facing the top of our mat. If you know that you like a blanket for a low lunge for your back knee, you can bring it behind you. You should be somewhere in the middle of your mat in a fold. From here, we're going to step our left knee back onto the blanket and then wiggle that front foot so that it's in between the hands. You want to end up with your right knee over your right ankle. You can have hands on the floor. Maybe this is enough for you. Pull that right hip back, left hip forward to square the toes. I recommend tucking the left toes. That will give you more stability. You can be right here, or you can climb onto that front knee. Keep knee over ankle. If you'd like a little more, you can lift left arm to the sky. Bend that left elbow and bring left palm to the back of your head. From here, Keeping that right hand on the thigh for stability, you can begin to lean that left elbow back, sending the head back into the hand, coming to a little back bend here. Keep pulling that right hip back, hugging inner thighs together. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Okay, as you're ready, you can release that left hand. Bring both hands to either side of that right foot. From here, walk your right foot out. So just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Come onto the heel of that right foot and then pull that right hip back. Your right knee might be bent the whole time. So from here, we're moving to a hamstring stretch. So you should feel the stretch in the back of the thigh, not behind the back of the knee. If you feel any pulling behind the back of your right knee, please bend the knee even more. You can begin to walk those fingertips back, keep pulling the right hip back, toes will flex back towards your face, and we'll breathe here for a few more breaths. If you have the flexibility in your hamstring, you can fold over that front leg. This is enough for me today. So notice any sensation in the back of that right thigh. You might even feel a little bit in the back of that right calf. Keep flexing those toes back towards your face. That will stabilize the ankle, which will stabilize the knee. We'll be here for one more breath. And on your next inhale, you can begin to walk your hands forward. Flatten that right foot to the ground. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Come back to hands and knees. From here, we'll switch sides. So step that left foot forward between the hands, tuck the right toes, and we'll move into that low lunge. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until you've got that knee over ankle. You can stay right here. Or if you'd like a little bit more, you can begin to crawl that left hand onto the left knee. Maybe the right hand comes up as well. Here, the trick to the balance is to pull that left hip back, right hip forward to square the pelvis, and then hug your inner thighs together, activating those inner thighs. If you feel steady here, you can raise that right arm to the sky, bend the right elbow, bring palm to the back of the head. If you're still happy, you can bend back a little bit, bending the upper back, sending the back of the head back, sending low ribs and belly back to support the back bend. Keep that left knee right over the ankle. Feeling how much stability you can have, pushing the feet into the ground, hugging the thighs together to allow you to come into the back bend. We'll be here for one more breath. As you inhale, come back up, release your hands, and then walk that left foot forward. Great. So come onto the heel of that left foot, pull that left hip back to square the pelvis, flex those left toes back towards your face, and then you can begin to walk the hands back. Knee might be bent the whole time. This might be your straight. This is my straight today. And then continue pulling that left hip back so that you have a stretch in the back of that left thigh, not behind the knee. If you have the stretch behind the knee, just bend your knee more. Bend your knee as much as you need to so that you're not feeling that pulling. That's never what you want. Keep pulling that left hip back. It's going to try to drift forward. Keep flexing those left toes back towards your face. We'll be here for a few more breaths. And then as you're ready, you can walk your hands forward, flatten that foot to the ground, wiggle it back, and we'll come back to hands and knees. From here, please plant your palms so that your hands are shoulder width distance apart. Wrists are under the shoulders. Please widen your palms so that you are spreading all 10 fingers wide. From here, we're going to move into plank pose. So option for knees to be down. So you can step your right foot back long like we did in the beginning of class, and then step your left foot back. If this is immediately too much, you can just come to plank right here. Same pose, knees up or down. We'll hold for a few moments in plank. Pull your belly and your ribs back towards the sky. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, come straight down or come down through hands and knees. Untuck the toes. Widen the palms so that your hands are outside your ribs. Press down into the tops of the feet. Press down into the hands. And pull your belly forward, coming into cobra or baby cobra. Be pulling in the low back, send your tailbone back behind you. Send shoulder blades down, back of the head back. We'll take one more breath here. And as you exhale, lower down. We'll plant the palms and we'll come back to downward facing dog. Okay, great. From down dog, please walk your hands back, back, back so that you're in forward fold at the back of your mat. And we'll hang here for a minute. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe you bring backs of palms to the calves. You decide what will feel best for you to find a little swaying here. And just really release your head and your neck. All right. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your hips and slowly roll back up. Okay. You can move that blanket. We probably won't need it till the end of class. Grab a sip of water if you'd like. And from here, we're going to try tree pose. So if you have a wall near you, always an option to bring yourself to the wall to get into this. Or if you'd like to try it with me, if you have furniture nearby, you can grab that as well. If you'd like to try it with me, you'll just come to face whatever way you decide to face, so wall or just facing towards the camera. So please shift your weight into your right foot and pick up your left. You can come to a kickstand, toes on the floor. You can come to your calf. You can come to the upper thigh. You do not want the foot on the knee. So drop your left hip down to square the pelvis. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe you begin to extend your branches. It's windy in my living room today. Okay. Great. So wherever you've landed, find a spot on the floor that's not moving to gaze at. It can be right here, continuing to root down into that right foot. Or if you'd like, you can begin to point the thumbs behind you, lean back, coming into a little back bend. Great. Wherever you've landed, we'll take one more breath here. And as you exhale, come back through center, shake it out, and we'll try the second side. This side might be totally different. This is my better side, if there is such a thing. So ground your weight down into your left foot, pick up your right. Maybe you go kickstand, calf, not the knee, or maybe you go upper thigh. Drop that right hip down, and maybe as you find a steady point on the floor, You can stay right here, palm to palm together. Will give you a lot of integration. You can grow your branches. You can point those thumbs behind you and come into a back bend. You decide what kind of tree you'd like to be today. We'll take 4 more breaths. Really use that standing foot to press down and get taller. One more inhale and exhale, and come on out. All right, we're going to try a little pranayama break. We're going to try breath of joy. So it's 3 short, sharp inhales, and then an exhale through an open mouth. So it looks like this. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, whoosh. All right, you ready? So let's really let yourself go at the end. 2 more. All right, beautiful friends. From here, let's all take a wide stance. So wide is relatively so that you have your wrist over your ankles. If that feels too wide to you and you feel tippy, feel free to walk your feet in. Make sure that the outer edges of your feet are parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Make sure that your knees are not knocking in. They're rotated so that they're right over the ankle. Please turn your right foot out to the short edge of your mat. Your right heel should intersect your back arch, if you could draw a line there. Bend into that right knee until you have a right angle so that that right knee is right over the ankle. You can extend your arms out, and from here, we're in warrior 2. So sink down into the pelvis. That might mean that you need to walk that right foot out just a little bit more. Keep your arms buoyant even as you sink down into the pelvis. If there's any discomfort in that right knee, you should be able to see your right toes, your right big toe, maybe second toe, inside that foot. So make sure that that right knee is not knocking in. Make sure it's wide enough that you can glance that toe. We'll take a few more breaths here. Your arms might be getting tired. How can you rest even while doing all of this work? As you're ready, keep your feet where they are. Straighten that right leg. We'll come into triangle. So make sure you keep a soft bend in that right knee the whole time. Then I'm a little teapot, tip forward, forward, forward with the right arm. Bring it down to calf or shin, ankle, inside or outside the foot on the floor. Grab onto something so that you have some support. From here, send that top arm, that left arm, up to the sky. So you have one long line from arm to arm. Okay. If you'd like more, maybe this is enough for you, you can bend that left hand, bring it behind the head, and then lean back into that top hand. Coming into a little bit of a back bend in the upper back. Keep grounding the feet down into the floor. Maybe you find a little back bend. Maybe you're just still here. You decide what will give you what you want today. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And as you're ready, come back up. Then back into that knee, come through warrior 2 one more time. And then we'll point our toes forward. Second side. So please send your left foot out to the short edge of your mat, and then make sure that that left heel lines up with that back arch. You can bend into that left knee until you have knee over the ankle. Great. From here, you can windmill those arms out. Keep the arms buoyant, don't let them sag. And then shift, drop down in the pelvis. Maybe walk that foot out just a smidge. Good. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Really feeling how low you can go. That might mean that you need to walk that left foot out just a little bit more. Feel yourself both grounded and also buoyant here. So keep the arms maybe a little bit even above the shoulders. Make sure you can see those left toes inside the left knee. We'll take just a few more breaths. Great. As you're ready, change nothing in your feet. Straighten that left leg. And then keep the soft bend there. Reach out, 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 and then down. For shin, ankle, floor, just get something. From here, you can begin to stack the shoulders so that that left, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Keep grounding down into your feet. Keep sending back of the head back. Maybe you bend that top arm. Bring that hand behind the head and then open so that back of the head moves back. Maybe you even gaze slightly up. We'll be here for 2 more breaths in and out. As you're ready, bend back into that knee. Warrior 2 one more time. And then from here, we'll come to all toes pointed forward. Bring your hands to your hips. Make sure your knees are not knocking in. And then you can extend torso out, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So bring those hands to the floor and release your head and neck. Make sure your weight's not spilling backwards. Make sure that your hips are right over your ankles. You can bend elbows back behind you. You have the space and the flexibility. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. Okay, as you're ready, walk your hands back, bring your hands to your hips and roll yourself back up. All right, from here, heel toe your feet together, do a little dance, and then we'll sit down. So from here, we're beginning to cool down. So we're going to move into Baddha Konasana first. So bring soles of the feet together, knees will be in a diamond shape. From here, please bring your right hand back behind you on that diagonal that we had earlier. Sorry, this is so confusing because you're not people, you're a camera. Okay, so right hand is behind you at a diagonal. Take your left palm onto your left middle thigh. You do not want it on the knee. From here, lean back into that right palm and then push that left thigh long, as if you could make your thigh bone longer. Lean your weight back into that back arm, maybe you're up on fingertips, and then continue swooshing that left thigh longer. You're not pushing the thigh down, you're swooshing as if you could make your thigh bone even longer than it is. You're moving the femur, the thigh bone out of the hip socket. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And as you're ready, we'll switch sides. So bring the left fingertips behind you. Take the right palm to the right middle thigh and then swoosh. So you're leaning weight into the back palm as you're extending that thigh bone longer out of the hip socket. Great. Take 2 more breaths here. Maybe lean the back of the head back if you're someone like me whose neck tends to come forward. And as you're ready, come back up. Stay in Baddha Konasana, and then take your right fingertips onto your left thigh, moving into a twist. So your left hand is back behind you, right hand is on that opposite thigh. Tent up on those back fingertips and then twist over to your left. So you can even bring the back of the head over that back shoulder. Keep pressing sit bones down into the ground, pull belly towards side. Maybe try rotating the neck so that you look over that front right shoulder. You decide where your head and neck would like to be. And don't forget to breathe. From here, we'll come back through center. Take right fingertips back behind you. Take left hand to right thigh. Don't want it on the knee. And then press down into those back fingertips. Rotate over to your right. You can look over that back shoulder. And then maybe try rotating the neck to look over that front left shoulder. And then decide where your neck would like to be. Keep sending that right shoulder blade down the back shoulder blade. Maybe twist a little bit deeper, rotating yourself around. We'll take 1 more breath here. As you're ready, come back through center. Bring your palms beneath your thighs and help your legs together. Please come to have soles of the feet planted into the ground and lie down on your back. Okay. You can bring your arms into cactus or goalpost. And from here, please pick up your right foot and cross that right ankle over the left knee. You can stay right here. Maybe this is enough for you. You just send that right knee away from you. That will give you a big stretch in the right hip. If you'd like a little more, you can bring that right hand through the triangle of your legs. Bring the left hand around the outer edge of the left leg. Meet the hands behind that thigh, and then hug that knee towards the chest while sending that right knee away from you. Keep flexing those right toes so that your right toes cup around your knee. Your shoulder blades are popping way up. See if you can wiggle shoulder blades down onto the back. That will actually give you more stretch in your hips. Maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. Keep sending that right knee away from you as you pull the left hip towards you, or left thigh, sorry, towards you. Feel yourself rooted here. Back of the head presses into the ground. Shoulder blades press into the ground. Even back of the pelvis presses down into the ground. Please take 2 more breaths. And as you've completed that, you can unwind, bring the left sole of the foot to the floor, unwind the right, and we'll switch sides. So take that left ankle and hook it outside the right knee. You can bring yourself back into goalpost or cactus. Send that left knee away from you. And maybe you stay right here. Maybe you're happy here. If you'd like a little more, you can send that left hand through the triangle made by your legs. Send the right hand around the right inner thigh or around right outer thigh to meet the left. And keep pulling that right thigh in towards you as left knee moves away. Keep flexing that left foot so that it cups around the right ankle. That will protect your ankle, your knee, and your hip. Maybe you try to flatten those shoulder blades onto the mat. Noticing how that intensifies the stretch in your hip. Figure out how you can settle down into the ground even here. Be here for 2 more breaths. As you're ready, you can unwind. From here, you can take any final movements that you want. Maybe you bring the outer edges of your feet wide to the mat and windshield wiper the legs, sending them side to side. If you'd like to take a twist, you can let knees fall over to one side and then the other, resting there for a moment. Or if you feel complete, you can extend the legs long, extend the arms, coming into Shavasana. So as you're ready, completing your movements for today, and just allowing yourself to settle down into the ground. You can close the eyes or soften the gaze wherever you've landed. Palms can rest up, or maybe you want to bring your hands somewhere onto your body. It can feel nice to bring a blanket or a pillow over the hips and pelvis in Shavasana to give you that sense of grounding. As you feel ready, I'll invite you to find stillness, to find this sense of resting back into the floor, back into the darkness of the unknown, allowing your eyes to grow heavy in your skull, allowing your jaw to release and slacken, letting your eardrums grow heavy in your ears. Just starting to listen internally. Take this time to truly receive, to rest back into the darkness of Shavasana, final rest. Slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing your awareness back into your body, back into the room. As you're ready, you can begin to extend your right arm long behind you onto the floor. Back of the palm will hit the floor. And then you can make a pillow with your arm by bending that right elbow and rolling onto your right side, coming into a little fetal position for a moment. Take this time curled up on your side to tuck into yourself, pulling your knees towards your chest. Maybe give yourself a little squeeze here. As you're ready, you can press into your palms and help yourself up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed or gaze soft. Hands can come palm to palm together in front of your heart, over your heart, or onto your thighs. Finding a gesture of reverence that's appropriate for you. As you're ready, you can bow your head towards your heart. taking a moment to appreciate your efforts and the efforts of those people around you in Zoom who've allowed us to practice together today. Take a moment to find some appreciation for your practice and for the studio for allowing us to continue practicing together. I hope that all of you may find the capacity to rest back into yourselves today, to take the time when you're feeling anxious or wound up, to find your breath and to reconnect with yourself. I hope that each of you have a wonderful day. Peace. Okay, thank you for being here. So if you're able to donate to the studio, there's a GoFundMe, which I'll have Adrian link to, or which I can come up and link to in the chat box. They're really working hard to make yoga accessible for so many people. This is even a nationwide effort at this point. My mom is here from Virginia, so this is really a wonderful access that we have to sharing this practice together. So if you're able to donate to the GoFundMe, that is an option. If you'd like to donate directly to me, I can post my Cash App. If you'd like to do more yoga today, you have Georgiana teaching Breathe and Flow at noon, and you have Naima teaching Yen at 6 p.m. And you also have Brittany teaching Grounded Vinyasa at 6 o'clock as well. So I'll see you whenever I see you again. I'm teaching tomorrow, Breathe and Flow, if you want something a little more active. And I'm teaching next Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a wonderful day. If you want to unmute and say hi, feel free to.
Hi, baby.